Hey, John Boy here. Trying to see through my own reflection. So, figured out the prices the best I could because the heat scanned receipts are not what they seem to be. I'm just going to assume you can see good because I keep moving it because of the reflections. So, as I go over the price list I have right here, what we spent, which, as you can see, is somewhat lengthy. Or maybe you can't see that. It's kind of bright out here. And I'm having a little bit hard time hearing because I'm all bundled up. Yesterday or the day before, it was 7 below or 7 above. With the wind chill, it was like 7 below. I don't know. It was a horrendous drop in temperature for a couple of days there. It's a little bit warmer. And yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so I had kids home all day. So this will be being posted as usual today after I film it, which is Tuesday instead of Monday. So I'm going to let you look at the pretty chickens while I read off the numbers. Okay, so no reading. Oh, there's Betsy. Hi, Betsy. I can't reach you, honey. I'm sorry. So, for YouTube, you can see right there, I only spent $123.92. That's basically the equipment, like the microphone and odds and ends of little things. So, and for the feed only, as you'll see here, we paid $277.29 last year. So, but most of that food's going to be used this year, or feed. Well, some of it. Our grand total for the year, actually if I can get this like this, you should be able to see all the numbers. And the grand total was $2,337.37. If anybody plays that on the lottery, let me know if you win. So that's a not very substantial amount. What did we get for that? Well, we went ahead and we tried using that deer fencing to hold back chickens. Now, our chickens are a little too smart for that. They figured out where, if they run their beak back and forth long enough, it'll slit it, and then they can climb through. So, kind of like a prison person running a tin can across the jail bars, they did that with their beak back and forth until it slit it, and then they would jump through the slit. So, and that was one of our barred rocks that did that. So, we also had the little white poles that you use for the wire fencing. We're still going to end up using them eventually, I'm sure. And the greenhouses. And that's the majority of the waste. Because those were just that. They were all waste. So, we went ahead and we got this chicken wire and put it on these cattle panels. And it does great to keep them in. Eventually, when we get goats, we'll be able to use these panels for that. But that fencing over there that's a lot smaller, it's a lot easier to move. And one of them's in a 16-foot length. The other one I think is 17 and a half or 18-foot length. My dad gave me that. It was going to be waste. I said, well, hey, I'll take it and use it. It'll give us our last 2 panels so we have an extra square for the chickens. Rather him throwing it out as scrap, because it's pretty tattered, but it works just fine. Now we have raccoon issues, but as of late, past year or two, it's been very nominal. So they don't seem to be going after the chickens. We got a black cat, that's the neighbor's cat. It does come over and pay attention to chickens, and I try to scare them off. Because of the weather, I don't want to spray them with water, which would deter them real quick, because I don't want the cat to get sick. And my main concern is if the cat actually got in here to mess with the chickens, even if it was just playing around, the chickens could kill the cat. I'm actually a little bit more concerned for the cat than the chickens. So, but if a cat goes ravenous and is killing birds, that's not a good thing either. And it's the neighbor's little kitty. So, if it was to pay more attention, I would spray it. But like I said, I'm trying not to because it's winter and I don't want the kitty to get sick. So, I will admit that has been a bit of a mistake. How I did the floor, everything. I'll show the way I make alterations to it. In the spring, it has given them a great area off the cold ground. And a lot of people say that the chickens' feet will freeze if they get air underneath. The only cases where I've seen that happening is they're like 500 miles north of me. So, that's like, well, maybe not 500 miles, maybe 250 to 500 miles north of me in climate. So, that's not too much of a concern. I also did not get the nest boxes in before the winter came, and the cold weather puts a damper on me. So, look at that. They yell and squawk. As soon as you turn the camera on them, they stop. There's my Betsy. There's Betsy right there. You can tell because she's got the brown on her. She kept attacking my daughter. My daughter was bothered by it, and then Betsy started attacking me. And I didn't even notice. And my daughter's like, that's the one that always attacks me. I just leaned down, petted her a while. She stopped attacking. She just wanted attention. So she's got a stay of execution. She will have a long, happy, productive life. And if we cycle through the birds, she will be skipped. I'm Betsy. You're a good girl. I still can't reach her. I don't know why I tried. So out of the waste, it's pretty much the fencing, and I mean at $21 a panel plus this fencing, which covered 3 of them. The fencing was about, I think it was like $12. Oh, that's really cool. So I think the fencing here was $12, and then 3 of these are $63, $65, somewhere in there. So it's basically $80 per 3 of them. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the 9th one makes that. So you figure, say 80. $240 for that fencing. But I will say, really big animal can't get through this big. And we have, this is key, and I always want to point this out. The chicken wire is on the inside. Because as happened to Justin Rhodes, an animal got stuck in the fencing for his electric fence. So, here, we can easily grab it and pick it up, makes it easier for us, but this is also a spot where a chicken can get trapped. That's why the chicken wire is on the inside. Now where these are connected is actually a little bit more girth than this flat spot. Oh, there's my finger. Sorry. I got so much glare it's hard to see. So, that's why they're normally on the inside. And I did it so that was up, which actually ended up making it easier. So, I didn't want to have the T-posts. I wanted to use those little white posts like over there. Probably can't see it because I'm pointing to a white post in the middle of winter with snow. Gotta love those ones. But anyways, it's not bad for the chickens. They like it. It gives them a lot of room because of the winter. They don't got a lot of snow, so I'm giving them extra food. And I'm putting black oil sunflower seeds in with it. Give them a bunch extra. You got any eggs in there? I see at least one. So my daughter's been doing the egg keeping. She comes out and gathers the eggs in the evening before it freezes at night. Real quick, as you can see here, as I expected really, this is a little bit more difficult in the wintertime because of the snow buildup. So I had to push it open better for my daughter because she was having problems getting it open. She was having to kick it and she wasn't hitting exactly the framing. So, what are you ladies doing, huh? What's the ladies doing? I don't believe it, so he's got some nice light on you. We'll do it this way because I was blocking the light. Hi, Hawk. This one right here with the beautiful feathers. Right here, we call Hawk because it looks like a hawk. And I can't remember that one's name. And we didn't name the rest. And the barred rocks we just gave initials to. So, well, hold on a second. So, before I totally freeze, I'm going to go in. So, I wish you a nice warm day. We're just north of Pittsburgh, city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, you can tell about what our weather is. We're right on the edge of, I believe it's 5B, 6A for plants. So, instead of the expense of buying the seeds, we're going to use up all the seeds we currently have. And then buy more. But only buy what we have to, and then next year we will be able to go ahead and next year we will be able to buy in the spring the seed for the whole year. Now, as you can tell right here, there's a gap. That should be on the inside. But I didn't realize that. I did that. So, But anyways, gonna be hard pressed for videos right now. I'm gonna try and come out with them still, but if I can't give you a good meaningful video, then I'm of the old school. It's not worth doing unless it's worth doing right. So we're not looking to spend all that much this year. I explained roughly what we plan on getting done. We are going to be spending a bit, but 2,300, that's like roughly just under 200 a month. That's a little bit difficult on us as far as expenditures, which there's our beautiful yard. All snow, except for my fingerprints and footprints. Yeah, I walk on my hands to feed the birds. So, here's what happened to that deer netting. It's great for holding down the snow. But as we do things this year, I'm going to try to make it more so I'm not dependent for somebody to help me. So I can do it myself and just come out and do it when what needs done and be done with it. So there's certain safety things I will not pass up. I won't pass on them. If it requires running equipment, saw, whatever, I don't do it unless somebody else is at home. Even if it's just when my kids come home, they're in the house. Because my younger daughter is older. She's old enough. So that way, if God forbid something happens, somebody's here. Just like I never get under a vehicle and work on it without somebody around. And literally one time that saved my life. Yeah. Have your own vehicle run over your head and then about to crush your head. Well, let's just say it was a good thing somebody was around. So, it hopped the blocks. It was on a hill. It couldn't be moved prior to that, so I didn't have a choice. But things like that, safety factors, I won't overlook. So, but I mean, I'm trying to make it where, like, for instance, I got those bulb planters. So you can drop the seedlings down through and they'll go right into the hole. It makes the hole. Because if I'm having a bad time with my back, I can't get down there and do the gardening. So, with the raised bed, the twisting to lean over the bed, I can't do it. Just walking up and reaching down like this, I can do that. So, it's funny they say about raised gardens are so good, but I'll tell you what, I've learned a major thing to know about raised gardens, or raised beds. And that will actually take you over here and show you. Plus, when the weather's nice, you won't be having to look at my ugly face so much. I'll have you things to show you. So, those beds over there are basically bricks. They're just one huge brick. The entirety of them. And as you can see, that's holding up because I got the heavy plastic on the top, or the hoops, the heavy plastic hoops, and then the fragiler ones inside. So, the one year I had a really bad time with my back, I wasn't able to move that much. So, you take it when you can get it. You do what you can. That's my major holdback. But I'm trying to design things and figure out how to do things that other people do for different reasons. But hey, that'll work for me. Hey, that, I can do it this way, and that'll work for me. So, there are certain things that I'm not going to be able to do no matter how hard I try. So, I just got to accept that limit. So, with accepting that limit, I do what I can, when I can, however I can. So, those bulb planters and having everything flat on the ground, that's going to be a game changer for me. There's no sitting down and twisting around and doing those sorts of things. So, with all that twisting, that's not good for my back. I don't speak much about my back because I'm not trying to let it limit me. Sometimes I don't have a choice. So, people that have any back issues, some things I'm going to be doing this year might be better for you. And I hope it helps you to better understand what you need to do. And let me know if it does. If you have a problem, because there's things that I have that I've done research on. I never proclaim myself to be some great smart person. I look at what Richard Perkins does. He's done it for over 10 years. Justin Rhodes, he's been doing it for, I believe, about 8 years. So, excuse me. So, John Kohler, he's been doing it for a long time. I think he's looking at around 12, 18 years, something like that. I know it's a pretty big window, but I can't quite remember what it was. So, with that, I'm looking at the way they're doing it. And there's a bunch of other YouTubers. So a lot of times you'll hear me giving credit to a specific person. And if I think of it at the moment, I will let you know who they are, like what channel they're from, or if they wrote a book, which Charles Dowding's another good one that I've been learning stuff from. I asked him a question about what vegetables he plants in the wintertime, and then I had to reiterate that I was not aware that he literally wrote the book on it. So this year I'm going to be trying to make Joel Salatin style chicken pens for going across here, and they will be going over the same grass twice in a year. I'm not going to be able to, I don't have enough room otherwise. And he says about if you make it 8 by 8 or 10 by 12, it's not much of a difference in weight. For me, literally that little difference is a matter of whether I can or cannot do it. I also have allotted, hi ladies, I have allotted enough room for an 8 by 8 or a 10 by 8. But 16 feet from the tree line or the drop off, back and forth, whole length of the property, 300 plus feet. Take them from one end to the other and take them back. And then back to, it's like 2 lines. Let me make it so you can see. Okay, so it's like 2 lines there. So it'll go all the way across, then all the way back, and then back over to where it started, and then all the way across again. So I'm making this much longer and much more talking than I planned on. So I'm going to get going and get in and get warm. And as soon as the spring thaws, I'm going to start getting, oh, that's really close. I'm going to start getting the greenhouses up, and I'll make some videos of that and how we're covering them and where we're putting them and why. So, all right then. I may take a break for a week or 2 just because of the simple fact that there's nothing going on here but a whole lot of cold, a whole lot of snow. Maybe put a couple of videos out of me coming out and feeding the chickens. I don't think I've showed anybody that. It's not that big of a deal to me, but some people like to see it. So I will talk to you later, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.